The concept of cashless came so that if a policyholder takes that insurance policy to a hospital, the hospital will treat the policyholder without asking for money. If a cashless request comes to any insurance company, within 3 hours, that cashless approval has to be provided. To avail the cashless, you should intimate the insurer 48 hours before hospitalization at least, or within 24 hours of an emergency hospitalization.
Okay. Hello and welcome back to Insurance Junction, your go-to podcast for everything insurance. This is a podcast series by HDFC ERGO General Insurance, India's leading general insurance company, and I'm your host, Avanne Dubash. Today we're diving into an important conversation, one that's all about self-care and prioritizing what truly matters, your health and well-being. Let's take a moment to reflect on an act of love that often gets overlooked, the love that we show ourselves. And what better way to demonstrate that than by giving yourself a gift that keeps on giving? Health insurance. So we're headed to the streets to ask our Janta some very simple basic questions about health insurance. Let's see how they fared.
It depends in the type of the emergency. If I urgently need the cash, then I'll try to arrange the cash. Otherwise, I'll depend on the insurance.
If you have a problem at night now and get admitted now, they'll ask you to pay some amount.
Definitely cash, that will fuel the process like faster.
पहले ट्रीटमेंट कराएंगे फिर बाद में देखेंगे जो रहेगा वो.
पहला प्रेफरेंस यही रहेगा कि हम कैशलेस हॉस्पिटल में जाए.
Okay, after watching that, I'm quite glad that people actually know about the importance of choosing medical care over the arrangement of cash in case of a dire emergency. But is this scenario too good to be true? Do hospitals always at time of admission cooperate, understand, and actually make it such an easy decision for affected ones? Well, that's what a good health insurance does. It lets you focus solely on your recovery rather than worrying about bills and payments. What's even better, imagine being admitted to a hospital because of an illness and you have to pay nothing. Unbelievable, right? But yes, this is possible because of cashless claims. So joining us in this episode, we've got Parthanil Ghosh. He's the Director and the Chief Business Officer at HDFC ERGO General Insurance. Parthanil, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining in.
Thank you, Avan.
All right, now in today's episode, I think we're going to touch upon the incredible advantages of the cashless treatment, how should one use it, and how you can really get valuable tips for navigating the claims process as well. So we're going to do all of this in our segment, Insurance Junction. So let's start off by talking about reports from the IRDAI that have said that the insurance market in India has grown about 16% in FY23. I just want to understand within that what the role is of cashless hospitalization and what are the major benefits.
One, let us first understand that what a hospitalization health insurance policy does. Basically, the policyholder, whenever there is a disease or he or she requires a treatment, they can go to any hospital and get treated. Now, the question comes that who pays the bill? Of course, the insurance companies pays the bill. But when the insurance company pays the bill, that means if a policyholder accesses a hospital and say, for example, the bill is 5 lakhs or 7 lakhs, do the policyholder have to take out the money and pay that and ask for the money later from the insurers? So earlier it was seen that whenever this kind of a situation comes, the ability of the policyholder gets restricted because not every time at the time of a medical emergency you will have lakhs and lakhs to get treated. So the concept of cashless came so that if a policyholder takes that insurance policy to a hospital, the hospital will treat the policyholder without asking for money, and at the same time will take the approval from the insurer. So the insurer pays the bills after the treatment is over.
Yeah.
So for the policyholder, it is a complete peace of mind. You spoke about access. Yes, the policyholder can access better hospitals or better advanced treatments without thinking much on the cash flow.
Okay. I believe that the rules for cashless treatment as well at any hospital, including the non-network ones, that requires no upfront payment, as you said. Was there a rule earlier that was a bit different? Can you walk us through that and tell us a little bit more about what's changed?
See, recently the IRDAI, the insurance regulator, has come out with a master circular.
Okay.
In this master circular, they have defined some of the basic conditions that an insurance company has to follow while talking about a cashless treatment. So they say that if a cashless request comes to any insurance company, within 3 hours, that cashless approval has to be provided. In any case, companies like us, we at HDFC ERGO has been following this rule for a long time. Actually, Avanne, our cashless approval TAT, turnaround time, is around 35 minutes on an average. So, but on the other way, it is very important to remember that our large number of our hospitalizations are planned hospitalization. Emergency hospitalization can be anything between 40 to 50%. So the insurance contract says to avail the cashless, you should intimate the insurer 48 hours before hospitalization at least, or within 24 hours of an emergency hospitalization.
Okay.
If these conditions are met, then the insurers will provide you the cashless hospitalization benefits, for which I already mentioned that the policyholders actually benefit to access the best of the treatments.
So being done in a time-bound manner is very critical. Now, while a lot of people, majority, if you could walk us through the numbers, go for a cashless insurance, tell us, why is it that it's not more? Is it because the network of hospitals for cashless is less? Can you just give us some numbers here?
So what we have seen that there are 2 or 3 reasons for which the policyholders choose not to take the cashless benefit of an insurance policy. Number 1, the policyholders feel that it may take tremendous amount of time, very long time to get it approved, and a huge paperwork. I would like to take this opportunity to assure all policyholders, HDFC ERGO's policyholder or any other policyholder in this country, that the system has been very, very easy. All the complexities of the past has been removed. It is very simple now. Of course, there are certain details to be entered, but the approvals are very fast. If you do it at least 48 hours before hospitalization for the planned ones and 24 hours before emergency. So that was the first reason that people have this worry in the mind that it may get delayed. The second one, some of the hospitals do not provide this cashless benefits. In that case also, we spoke about the regulator and the insurers that please come back to us. We as insurers will ensure that that particular hospital gives us that cashless benefit. That is the second. And the third one, sometimes in case of fraudulent claims, we have seen that, where the customers, actually there are no customers, there are very unscrupulous elements who wants to take the benefit of the insurance policies and goes for reimbursement. But for the genuine customers, the first 2 worries, I would request through this podcast of yours that please don't worry. The process has become simpler. Please come and take the benefit of the cashless hospitalization.
Absolutely. Now, I think what every insurer wants is a hassle-free cashless claim. So what are the steps that they need to ensure to get this?
For in case of a planned hospitalization, please inform the insurer through their forms. Now, these forms are available in all the digital platforms. For us, it is available on WhatsApp, on our portal, or even on our agents portal, or the channel partners portal. But intimate us at least 48 hours before the hospitalization or within 24 hours of emergency hospitalization. That is the first. Second, please make sure that the hospital sends the request in time, because we have to get this cashless request from the hospital. So please ensure that they send it time. Then leave it to the insurers. The insurers of today, as I mentioned, that the regulator wants us to give an approval within 3 hours. We at HDFC ERGO do it on average 35 minutes, though. So the process has become simpler.
Yes.
But please intimate us in advance.
All right, Partha, you've really walked us through what really needs to be insured in order to have a hassle-free cashless claim. So thank you for those insights. But lots of other questions and queries from viewers in our segment, It's Playback Time. Shall we get to it?
Yes, sure.
First up, we have got a question. This is on the Instagram handle at HDFC ERGO GI, and we've received this question from Farah. She asks, if I need a surgery and I choose a network hospital, will the hospital directly bill the insurance company or will I have to pay upfront?
If you have chosen the cashless hospitalization and informed the insurer at least 48 hours in advance, then the insurance company will pay to the hospital and you do not have to pay anything, depending on the terms and conditions of the insurance policy. So if the insurance policy is comprehensive, I really do not know what kind of insurance policy you have taken. Normally, nothing is to be paid. But if there are any deductibles there or anything to be removed, like consumables, which in any case for our Optima Secure, we don't have any of those. If you do not have those, then everything will be paid.
So it's important to read the fine print also. All right, hope we got that question answered for you, Farah. Meera Shetty asks the next question. She asks, do I need to call my insurer to get a pre-authorization before my treatment, or does the hospital handle it? And if so, how long does it take for approval?
Either the policyholder intimate the insurance company, but at the same time, the policyholder has to go to the hospital for submission of the documents because the treatment estimates has to come from the hospital. Or go to the hospital and ask the hospital to contact the insurance company directly, but for planned hospitalization, 48 hours in advance, and in case of emergency hospitalization, within 24 hours of hospitalization.
All right. Hope you've taken note of those time frames, Meera. Next up, we've got a question coming in from Samuel Phillip. He listens to this podcast on Spotify. He says he really enjoys it. So thank you for that, Samuel. Now he says he's heard about delays in claims being processed. I think this would be a general question. Are there certain mistakes that people commonly make, he's asking, that cause delays in cashless claims, and what can he do to avoid it?
So Samuel, a very, very good news is that from October through the master circular of the regulator, every insurance company is bound to approve or give a rejection within 3 hours. So there is no question of delay. Secondly, the rejection largely happens if the terms and conditions of the insurance policy is violated. So it is very important to read the fine prints, and extremely important to choose an insurance policy which covers all kinds of hospitalization expenses, has a good brand reputation, and has a history of a better payout, claims payout.
Samuel, I hope we got your question answered. Thank you for that. And Partha, thank you as always. You've really opened our eyes and simplified and made the world of cashless insurance and just health insurance in general so much easier to understand. So thank you. And that brings us to the end of season 1, what it's been like in season 1.
Thank you, Avanne. I think I would like to congratulate you for taking your time out and to do these episodes. See, health insurance in India, still there are wrong perceptions and misconceptions in the mind of policyholders or the citizens who doesn't have a policy. Health insurance over these years, with the help of the regulator and also the insurers, have become simpler. The health insurance companies do pay claims. Avanne, during the COVID times, these insurance companies paid almost 25,000 crores of claims during the first, second, and third wave of COVID. So, for the general public, these episodes should create a positive sentiment for the health insurance as a category and health insurers in general. So, if you are successful to bring back trust on the insurers from your viewers and listeners, I think that is That has happened, right? So if that has happened, I'm very happy.
And to the lovely audience out there, if today's discussion has made you even think about buying health insurance, but you're feeling stuck because you don't know where to start, don't wait. Just write into us. Slide into our DMs on at HDFC ERGO GI. Send us your questions, and I promise you, we will get them answered in the playback segment. If you have a doubt, say it out. Well, that's my cue to exit. I'll see you guys in the next episode of Insurance Junction, a podcast series by HDFC ERGO General Insurance, India's leading private sector general insurance company. Till then, get insured, stay assured. This is your host, Avanne Dubash, signing off. Hey guys, you know the drill. To never miss an episode, hit the bell icon. If you want to stay abreast with all the insurance news, subscribe to our channel, HDFC ERGO, right here on YouTube. And if you want to listen to the audio episode, it's available on all audio streaming platforms.